right, good morning and happy Tuesday, everybody. We are live here on Ken's 5 talking about the weather. We have a cold front moving in later today, probably around 2 and 3 o'clock, and you'll feel the winds get a little breezy later this evening. And in the meantime, we're also talking about Hurricane Melissa making headlines across the world, across the Atlantic. This is one of the strongest hurricanes to ever form, strengthen, and now making landfall as we speak in the western portion of Jamaica, so near Montego Bay on the island of Jamaica. That's where it's now making landfall. And we'll zoom in actually right now, and we'll get to the forecast, talk about what's happening in Texas weather, and how cool temperatures get for tomorrow morning and for Thursday and for Halloween as well. In the meantime, though, the big story right now is Hurricane Melissa. Now remember, for a hurricane or a tropical storm to make landfall, the center of the storm, or in this case, the center of the eye, has to move directly over land. And then that last frame right there, it's just about there, probably about at a half an hour, hour and away, if not sooner than that, from making landfall on that western coast of Jamaica. Winds are at 185 miles an hour. The eye is now moving onshore. The entire island of Jamaica is on the eastern, northeastern quadrant right now of a Category 5 hurricane. Right now, you know, aircraft reconnaissance, hurricane hunters have picked up anywhere from 180 to 190 sustained winds in the eye wall, and that's what Jamaica is going through right now. Just a catastrophic situation. And then also on the eastern side of a hurricane or a tropical storm, you get the most storm surge. So the movement of water from south to north in this case. So all the water that's moving in onshore is causing lots of coastal flooding, likely in this area right now. And in addition to that, all the rainfall, all the wind damage, structural damage that's happening in Jamaica. So say a prayer for Jamaica this morning, because man, they are going through it right now. It's moving northeast at 9 miles an hour. Pressure's down to 892 millibar. And that's another way of just showing how strong the storm is. One way is obviously showing the wind speed, 185 miles an hour. This is tied for the second strongest hurricane in Atlantic hurricane history with the wind speed. But then when you look at different factors like pressure, for example, it is in fourth place, not to diminish the strength of the storm, because all 5 of these were devastating hurricanes. Wilma back in 2005, Gilbert back in 1988, the Labor Day hurricane that hit Galveston, for example, that resulted in lots of fatalities back in 1935 in September. And then Melissa, at the moment, it's still moving onshore. We'll get the latest advisory from the Hurricane Center probably in about an hour or so. But yeah, now making landfall. Pressure down to 892 millibar, Melissa, and then Rita is in 5th place at 895 millibar. But also the winds. So we were talking about earlier that how Melissa is tied for 2nd place with like 5 different storms. So first place is Hurricane Allen back in 1980, 190 mile an hour winds, sustained. The Labor Day hurricane, Gilbert, Wilma, Dorian back in 2019, and Melissa all tied for 2nd place. 3rd place is Hurricane Milton just last year at 180 miles an hour, and that hurricane hit Florida. So it just shows you the strength and the gravity and the magnitude of how powerful Melissa is, ranking in storms like the Labor Day hurricane, Wilma, Dorian. If you remember, Dorian hit the Bahamas and Florida and the eastern seaboard with just strong, powerful wind gusts, and that's the latest on Hurricane Melissa. There's the forecast cone, remaining Category 5 status until it makes landfall later this morning. It's on approach to do that. And then it'll make a second landfall in eastern Cuba. It's probably as a Category 4, Cat 3. And then moving over the Turks and Caicos, probably about Wednesday, so tomorrow into early Thursday, as it's still a pretty decent Category 2 to Cat 3 hurricane. So the tropics are very active. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. It's clear outside over San Antonio. Temperatures are pretty comfortable right now. But we're warming up, and well, matter of fact, we'll get up to about 88 degrees today. At the moment, 79. 74 at Stinson, southwest wind at 13. You'll feel a wind speed probably anywhere from like 10 to 20 miles an hour today, so a little breezy ahead of our cold front later this afternoon and this evening. 79 is a lot of locations. 79 at Timberwood Park, 79 in the airport, at the airport. Same thing at Helotes. New Braunfels picking up just about that. Pair of 7s in Seguin, Lavernia, Stockdale, Floresville. 75 at Castroville, and same thing at Bernie and Bandera. 84 at Carrizo Springs, 82 at Beeville. We have upper 70s towards Junction, and that's where the front is slowly moving through at this hour. So after the front moves in, between basically tonight and mostly tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, wind speeds will be gusting anywhere from 20 to 30 miles an hour up to maybe 40 with occasional gusts. So what that's going to do with our drought, dry vegetation, gusty winds, the air is going to be very dry. The humidity is going to be so low behind this frontal boundary. It's going to create bad fire weather concerns. So elevated fire weather watches in effect for Bexar County and up towards Austin, and even central Texas is underneath that as well. Let's do this really quickly. Let's talk about the cold front. Let me just make sure everything is working okay before we get started on the timing. And we'll stop right around Thursday morning where it gets really cold right there. Okay, so here comes the front, moves in sometime around 2 and 3 o'clock today, so early to mid-afternoon. So I would say this evening on your way back home from work, from school, or for going out for any evening plans, soccer practice, anything you got going on with the family, it'll be a little breezy to windy tonight. There will be 1 or 2 showers towards like Bay City, Victoria, towards Houston, maybe as far south as like Pleasanton and George West, but very isolated activity. Most of us not going to see rain today. And then look at this, so sunset's around 6:30, 6:45. By sunset, temperature already at 70 degrees, clear skies. It's going to feel nice this evening. And then temperatures continue to fall downward. Look at this, by midnight we are at 61. Winds are gusting 15, 25 miles an hour. By tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., just before sunrise, expect around 52 to 53. If you're watching from the hill country towards Bernie, Kerrville, Rock Springs, Fredericksburg, Comfort, near Hunt, Texas, probably some upper 40s waiting for you tomorrow morning. And then fast forward to Wednesday afternoon, high temperatures will struggle to get out of the 60s based on this particular model. We're forecasting a high near 70, but expect most daytime highs in the upper 60s tomorrow, even cooler across the hill country. Tomorrow is going to be a really nice taste of fall. And then clear skies, calming winds tomorrow night into early Thursday will help with temperatures falling rapidly. So Thursday morning and early Halloween morning, expect lows in the 40s and even some upper 30s in the hill country. So our weather is changing pretty fast between now and tomorrow and Thursday. So get ready for that. So that fire weather watch, again, ongoing drought, dry vegetation. Any fire that sparks up will spread pretty quickly with the help of these northerly winds, 20 to 30 miles an hour. So avoiding outdoor burning. Avoid driving over tall grass. Anywhere from Austin to San Antonio out towards Del Rio, the drought's still pretty extreme. So any ember that does spark up in the afternoon or evening hours will spread pretty quickly, and that's very dangerous with this kind of environment. And with the winds gusting so fast, through tomorrow, fire weather concerns are elevated. Matter of fact, here is the fire danger forecast. This is for tomorrow. Extreme to very high, and then towards Sonora and like far west Texas, it does improve, but our area is in a very dangerous category for extreme fire weather for tomorrow, which is why we have a weather impact alert for Wednesday, a high near 70, but again, most of us staying in the upper 60s all day tomorrow, from about 88 today to 70 tomorrow, 74 Thursday, and 77 on Halloween. Talk about perfect weather for Halloween. Trick-or-treat time, I would say in the lower 70s, upper 60s, around 7, 8, 9 o'clock. It should be perfect Friday evening. We fall back Sunday. Keep that in mind. That is the time change, the time shift. This is the one we like, guys. The one in spring where we spring forward, you lose an hour of sleep. But in the one in fall, you gain an hour. You fall back and you gain an hour of sleep. So high of 76 on Sunday. Beautiful weekend up ahead. Lows in the 50s, chilly. This weekend going to be beautiful. Highs near 80 in some spots on Saturday. And then pretty mild on Sunday under mostly clear skies. And then I would say by next week, temperatures start to rebound pretty slowly. By next Wednesday and Thursday, right around 80 degrees and no significant chance for rain as we move into early November. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Download the KENS 5 app for additional updates on Hurricane Melissa, on the cold front that's moving in, on the morning trend, on the morning low forecast trend. We'll have updates through Halloween and through the weekend. But yeah, the forecast highs after today look pretty beautiful with highs in the 70s, below average, and lows most mornings staying pretty chilly in the 40s and 50s through the weekend.